everyone, it's me, HYDRATE. Listen, this is a quick little disclaimer. I won't bore you with the details, but Neo from the Matrix struck again, and I screwed up a thing. My negligence. I screwed up the audio, and I don't think it's unlistenable, so I'm still gonna post the rest of the episode. This is me after the fact. Just putting up a disclaimer that the audio screws up a little bit. It gets really echoey in some places, but I think it is still worth posting because, in my opinion, and I wouldn't lie to you about this, this particular episode, I had a lot of fun doing it. I said a lot of really fun, neat, interesting things, and it was worth sharing because I tell some very compelling stories, and I give you guys some good news. And frankly, it's 1:30 in the morning. I spent an hour and 10 minutes recording this thing, and I don't want to do it again. And I couldn't possibly recreate the magic that was involved in this. So this is my disclaimer. I was supposed to keep it quick, but here I am fucking a minute and a half later. Anyways, enjoy the episode. I hope it is not unlistenable. Please enjoy it. I can't make any promises that this won't happen again because I am just prone to screwing up tech things. But God knows I'm trying. God knows I am learning from each of these new fucking mistakes that keep coming up. Something fucking new happens every goddamn. Anyways, yes. Enjoy. Trust me, it's good. So stick with it. Enough begging. Enjoy it. Okay, here. Glug glug, bitch. Glug glug. That's how we're starting it. Hello, greetings, and welcome to PodGis. Glug glug, bitch. Get that printed on a shirt. That's my new catchphrase. Are you glugging tonight? You bet your ass I am. Hey, what is it? I think episode 2, way back, is called, Hey, Drink Water. So, have you drank a water today? Well, if not, then fucking glug glug, bitch. Get your waters out. I'm on a real hydration kick tonight. Let's all get hydrated. You know what's crazy? Is fucking water. It'll hydrate you. It'll get you up on your feet and off your ass. It'll make your skin all moist. It'll lubricate your mouth. For whatever purposes you want to use lubrication in your mouth for, I'll let your imagination fill in the blanks. But anyways, none of that'll happen without just a little bit of glug glug, bitch. So glug glug. I was walking down Pizzaville. Do you guys remember those ads? It was a rainy day in Pizzaville. That's my favorite British accent. I have no idea what region that's from, but that's my favorite. The one that goes, oi, you don't do that. It's their O's. Their O's are fascinating to me. Don't do it. No. Oi. They say oi. Oi is fun. Anyways, hi, how's your week? How are you doing? Good, I hope? Good. Last episode, before I even proceeded, before I finished, I made a note, I said, talk about this first. And upon further inspection of this point that I decided to, burden my future self with, that I had to talk about this right out of the gate. Nobody hates on Buddhism. Everything you hear about Buddhist philosophy is met with reverence, but if you read the wrong person a Bible passage, they tell you to shut the fuck up. That's what I wrote, and, I don't want to go anti-religious too soon, or at all. I think I'm going to let it go. But I think there was a point that I thought I was making at the end of the last episode, which was basically like, I think correct me if I'm wrong, and I know some of you friends of the pod love to do it, and I love being corrected. Trust me. I don't. I think it's worse to be confrontational when corrected. So it's okay to be wrong as long as you handle constructive criticisms well. So fucking tell me if I'm wrong, but are Buddhists at war with anyone? See, this is something that Ava, you can find this out on your own, don't you know? How do I even ask? Do Buddhists have rivals? Do Buddhists have enemies? Buddhism has rules for slaying your enemies. Okay, well, wouldn't be a religion if there wasn't a bunch of shit about killing people. But the real surprise is finding out who your enemies actually are. Buddhist psychologist Robert Thurman has identified 4 enemies that are obstacles to a happy, fulfilled life. Oh! Maybe they're not... Oh. Buddhist sermons regularly include Islamophobic messages such as unsubstantiated rumors of Muslim violence against Buddhists or Muslim plots to take over the country and destroy Buddhism. Oh, and that's from a conflict in Myanmar. Article in harvard.edu. It's a Harvard article about Myanmar conflict. So I stand corrected, and look at me handling that with grace. Buddhists have enemies, apparently. And I'm not going to get involved. We're going to push the ball away. We're just going to push the ball away. One time I said that a bunch of times to my friend when I was talking about letting stress roll off your back. And he said, why do you keep saying that? And I was like, it's a quote from one of my favorite movies ever. Hot Rod. They're on the beach and she's teaching him some yoga moves. And she says, and we push the ball away. And I always thought that was so cute. And I think about it every time I mentally release myself from a stressful train of thought. And we push the ball away. So that's all I'm saying is push away the balls in your life. That's my piece of advice to you. If you got balls, push them away in your life and you will be happier. Isn't that a great trans message? If you're unhappy with your balls, push them away. Or tuck them away if you like. Any way that you can get them to be gone from your person, then you will be happier as a result. And that's a bit of Buddhist philosophy for you right there. Who would war against that, you know? Speaking of friends of the pod, I was talking with a friend, a listener, who brought up the subject of selling out. And he quoted something back to me from like episode 114 or something like that. I could bring up the conversation. It was an observation on selling out, basically, and he invoked the Trailer Park Boys, and he said that that they sold out, and he was kind of disappointed in them. And I get it, you know. I get it. and all I did, really, our conversation isn't. The details aren't important. What is important is I was reflecting on this in the shower, and hopefully I'm not repeating myself from episodes ago. But I was thinking, what would it take for me to advertise a product? What would it take for me to be like an ambassador for some kind of a product? And my first thought was this, like, I have artistic integrity and I would never sell out. And of course I want to believe that. But then I realized, like, if I was offered $1 million to promote that fucking laser helmet, what is it called, that I did, that I tried to do for a year that didn't work, and they fucking guaranteed like my full money back at the beginning of the year when I bought it, but then that was a scam. It was just a fucking scam. Watch, if I type in laser helmet. I restore. That was it. I restore my laser helmet. Oh my god. And I remember I made fun of myself. Some studies have found that it's effective on its own in helping to stimulate your scalp to grow new hair. Where was it for me? I sat there like a fucking goofus with this laser helmet for 25 minutes every other day, just feeling like such a goof ass. And if you don't know what I'm talking about, go back. I don't know how many episodes ago, but I probably ripped on myself pretty hard. But yeah, but like if I was, it didn't work for me. But if I was offered $1 million to sell iRestore, then of course I would. And then it made me think like everybody's got a price, you know? And it made me a little sad, especially about myself. And there's part of me that wonders like, is that actually universally true? If everybody has a price, and I'm willing to believe that we all do. I think it must be a human quality to have principles that are easily challenged by probably capitalism. Probably if somebody waves enough money around in your face, you will justify taking the money. Being like, well, let's say when like Guns N' Roses and Rage Against the Machine sold the rights to their songs to Guitar Hero. It's like you could justify it by saying, yeah, we're getting paid, but also we're promoting people playing guitar, even though it's not exactly playing guitar. Hey, Guitar Hero led to me learning guitar, and now I fucking shred, and that was good. So Guitar Hero had by extension, me playing Welcome to the Jungle and Sweet Child of Mine on expert mode on Guitar Hero 2 and 3, they were good, positive. Listen, I don't need to defend Guns N' Roses and their decision to quote-unquote sell out their music to Guitar Hero, but like, as an enjoyer of Guitar Hero to begin with, I don't think that's selling out. I'm glad they put the songs in there. Hey, I'm glad I got to do them. Leave Guitar Hero alone. I was always a fan. Come on. Yeah, but I was just thinking about selling out and what it would take for me to sell out. And frankly, that number is probably pretty low. I went from thinking I have these strong, unshakable principles, this unwavering integrity. I went from that to being like, well, oh my god, I had a dentist appointment today. I had half my mouth cleaned. It has been so long that they had to break up the tooth cleanings into separate appointments. And she had a hell of a time. So if it seems like I'm talking out of one half of my mouth like Harvey Dent, it's because she took sharp objects and was scraping away at my half my face, and it is sore and probably a little inflamed. But we are working past that, and she's doing her best. So anyways, that said, I'm spending a shit ton of money out of nowhere on dental expenses because God, it had been like 8 years since I'd been, and they're just throwing a lot at me. It was like $400 to register as a new patient at this place and get x-rays done. That was bullshit, frankly. But it was another like $250 to get half my mouth cleaned. It'll be another $250 again when I get the other side. And then they said you're gonna need to come in a third time to like have the whole mouth gone over one more time. I'm painting a pretty gross picture of what it's like in here in my mouth. But it's not my fault. I was too poor for too long. And now you can fucking see why I put off going to the fucking dentist for so long. I took pretty good care of my teeth, all things considered. No cavities. I floss. So he was like, your tooth health is like pretty good, but the gums are, you got a lot of... Anyways, all of this to say, I am spending a lot, I'm hemorrhaging a ton of money on my teeth alone out of nowhere. And, so I would hawk iRestore, useless iRestore laser helmets that make you feel like a fucking Dorcas Malorcas. I would hawk them for $1,000 at this point. 1,000? Oh. See, that's the thing in my head just now. I was like, no, 2,000. But then I thought, if they came to the bargaining table and were like, $1,000, take it or leave it, I'd be like, done. If I came back, tried negotiating, no, $2,000, they would say, sorry, not interested. And they would get up to leave, and I would be like, wait, I'll do it for 1,000. I'll do it for 1,000. Give me that helmet. I will sell the fuck out of it. I'll wear it. Oh, I wish I had something shaped like a bowl. Ah! I'll wear this stupid. I'll wear whatever the fuck you want on my head. Anything. Just help me repair my teeth. I'll wear stupid Star Trooper. It's fucking Star Trooper's yarmulke. It was a Star Trooper's yarmulke, is what iRestore was. Look it up. Oh, that's so funny. That's so clever. I hope you guys can look it up. I had the iRestore Premium. All you have to do... Why is everything small I before everything else? Isn't that like copyright infringement on Apple? Small iRestore. Just what a dumb... They couldn't even come up with a creative fucking name. iRestore. Fuck you for glomming on to Apple's branding. Piece of shit. Anyways, apparently it works. And that's from a simple Google search. But if you look up iRestore helmet, you'll see what I mean. It's a yarmulke for a stormtrooper. Oh, that's great. It's a bike helmet for a stormtrooper. No, yarmulke's funnier. I love the idea of this hair restoration device that doubles as a religious garb. I want to stay one of God's chosen people, but I wouldn't mind having some hair atop my head. Anyways, ooh, update. You guys, okay, get this. Oh my God. So I told you last week that my snowboard was stolen, and I have some news for you. But first, glug glug, bitch. I'm using a coaster that a friend made for me for Christmas. Look, it's me on guitar. Isn't that a cool shot? That's really epic. I've never looked cooler. That's awesome. I love it. What a cherished item. Anyway, speaking of cherished items, so my snowboard is still stolen. Let me preface the rest of the story by saying that. Don't get your hopes up. It is still at large. The culprit has still gotten away with it, though I'm sure by now the snowboard has come unhinged from the wall and cut off his head. One can only dream. And I'm sure it was a man. I'm going to say him. I'm positive it was a guy. This just has slimy, dick-headed D-bag written all over it. Anyways, enough of my vengeful fantasies. So this is crazy. I had a fan on Instagram send me a photo and a link to a Kijiji ad, and she said, I reverse image... Did you guys even fucking know about reverse image searching? She reverse image searched my snowboard, a picture that I posted of my snowboard, And she found, get this, I'm going to lay out the circumstances here. And your mind is going to be blown at the coincidence, the crazy coincidence of all of this. Holy shit. So, this post on Kijiji was posted 18 days ago. Or it was as of the conversation. My snowboard had been stolen up until that point 10 days ago. So this exact replica of my snowboard that was made 22 years ago, that I bought 22 years ago when I was 13 years old, from a company that doesn't exist anymore, Option Snowboards. And so therefore, I couldn't tell you with objective accuracy how rare this snowboard is, but I don't know how many they manufactured, but given how old it is, I mean, there probably aren't a lot of them around anymore. It's 22 years old. So anyways, my exact copy, same make and model, same size, I believe, even. Maybe 2 centimeters shorter, but I'll take it. I don't care. It was posted 18 days ago, 8 days before my snowboard was stolen, and it was posted in Barrie, Ontario, which is like roughly an hour outside of the ski resort from which my board was teefed. So, and now you must be saying, and it had different bindings on it, and now you must be saying, well, HYDRATE, listen, maybe this thief was so cunning, and maybe they're a serial snowboard tiefer out there tiefing up snowboards like crazy. Maybe they are so adept at this point and very experienced that they had the foresight to post an older board to Kijiji and then edit. It feels a little ridiculous explaining it, but like tons of people messaged me this. They're like, what if it's your board? And they had an older post and they edited everything. They changed the photos, the title, the description. I don't know if you're allowed to do that on Kijiji, but I don't know how you would find out or how I would test. So basically, some people were like, what if they've used like a decoy post before just to like throw the scent off with the timing? And it's like, but also, like, wouldn't the thief know that, like, if I recognize my own make and model on Kijiji, wouldn't that raise suspicion? Anyways, I've compared the photos of my precious, and still I'm heartbroken just talking about it, my stolen board versus the one that he posted, and the scratches are different. There are distinct scratches. In fact, his board looks to be in better condition than mine was. Even though mine was in pretty good condition, this one looks like it's even better. But there are characteristic scratches on that one, a big, long, horizontal one at the bottom. And mine had all these little vertical, like, stretch marks. Anyways, so this Instagram friend / fan reverse image searched, which, why didn't anybody tell me about reverse image searching? What a miracle! What a miracle of human science. What a fucking cool thing that located my snowboard in such a, like, the coincidences are insane. And that is why enough people have messaged me to be like, are you sure it's not yours? Because this is crazy. To have my snowboard posted 8 days before the theft, exact same make and model from 22 years ago. They don't fucking make them anymore. That's for damn sure. In Barrie, Ontario, 1 hour away from the scene of the crime. And it's like, okay. This is the thing. So naturally, I messaged right away and was like, hi, is this still available? I am interested. Of course I am. And this guy was like, yeah, it's still available. And I didn't want to tip my hand too soon, you see, because I didn't want to, I don't know, if I had revealed myself to be the true owner, and if this board was in fact stolen, then I would have bought a one-way ticket to Blocktown and never to see my board again. So I was like, let's play it cool. And so I asked the standard questions, what kind of quality is it? What are the blah, blah, blah measurements, etc., etc. And then there was a part of me that was like, do I haggle? And I almost hatched a scheme, and don't roll your eyes at this, but I almost hatched a scheme where I got friends. I was asking around, I was like, is anybody willing to message in advance? Message this guy and lowball him so hard that my new offer wins out, But I didn't want to risk losing this opportunity. Although I do think that would have been a clever strategy. So he posted it for $290, which, quick aside, is like a really good fair price for my board back. First of all, for such a treasured item, to get it back would be, I would pay a lot more than that, I think. Even though all my money is going towards cleaning one side of my mouth. But also, the bindings and the condition of the board were actually an improvement, it seems. The bindings for sure. My bindings were like bullshit. They were shit. They were falling apart. So this is sincerely kind of an upgrade. And I was even contemplating getting replacement bindings for my snowboard. So this is I'm kind of paying $300 for a tune-up. New bindings on my snowboard. So I'm justifying all these things in my mind, but also I think it would have been funny if I got 2 or 3 people to message separately to be like, I'll give you $150 for it. Something insultingly low, so that I could come back with like, $290, can I get it for $220? But anyways, I asked for $250, and he said he would do it for $260. So, we did a little bit of haggling. And I'm not good at haggling. I'm not good at confrontation. I'm too afraid of losing out. I have too much fear of FOMO that I'm just no good at haggling. And I don't like confrontation, and even like asking for something that makes somebody go, are you out of your mind? Would make me feel so bad for days. I would feel so bad for days if somebody was like, what an insulting offer. Then for 5 days I would carry that weight in my heart, and I would be like, I can't believe what an asshole I was to that guy for asking for $40 less than his initial asking price. Anyway, so to conclude this story, I am going tomorrow. I'm borrowing a friend's car. I'm driving up to Barrie from Toronto, and I'm buying an identical snowboard of mine back. So I'm so glad, and I hope you feel the same way. I hope you feel the same sense of closure, and just, if you're listening and not watching this PodGis, can you sense the smile on my face? The beaming joy that I'm experiencing right now at the prospect of getting my board back. Maybe $260 poorer, plus the gas I'm going to put in my friend's car as thank you for lending me the car. But, it was a valuable lesson to learn about taking care of the things I love, even though fuck you for stealing my board. I hope whoever steals my board dies of thirst. I hope he forgets to glug glug, bitch. And or the opposite. I hope that he passes out in a urinal. I hope that he sells the board to some other person who would love it and appreciate it. And then the initial thief spends all the money on booze. He goes to a bar and gets shit-faced drunk, and then he passes out in a toilet he like falls and he hits his head and he drowns in the toilet bowl. So glug glug bitch. I hope it's a special kind of glug glug bitch for you thief, if you're out there. May God have mercy on your soul, because I wouldn't. Me, the girl who dwells for 5 days on in potentially insulting someone in a haggle. God, I'm so harmless. What a pussy. I'm such a pussy. Oh well. I'm a peaceful bird. Anyways, so I'm gonna get my board back. Isn't that exciting? The saga will have come to a conclusion. What else? Oh, let's talk about this. 2 things, real quick. One thing real quick and then a longer thing. Facebook has begun to recommend celebrities to me to add as personal friends. Is that like a sign of success? Is that the dumbest, most superficial sign of success? That Facebook is suggesting Will Sasso and Colin Jost? Is Colin... I know he does Weekend Update. Is he the head writer? I know he's dating Scarlett Johansson, isn't he? Yeah, he is. Oh, they're married. Good for them. It makes me so happy when, like, a beautiful, 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 talented woman is married to a comedian. Because it's like, go comedians. We have the same birthday, me and Colin Jost. Okay, before I continue to mention his name, how to pronounce Colin Jost. Youst. What? Oh, my speakers aren't plugged in. Oh, no! Okay, say it.
Colin Yost.
Yost. The J is a European J.
My name is Colin Jost, which is kind of a weird name. It's not super
Jost. He pronounces it Jost.
Like when I say Colin, people often mishear, and they don't even try to repeat it back. They just change it to a different name they know. So I'm like, hi, I'm Colin. They're like, Alan.
I don't care for bits about your funny name. That's the most YBWC. Yeah, but who cares? Boom. YBWC. Bits about your name and how silly your name is or whatever get the biggest YBWC. Like, okay, I have a bit about changing my name, but that's not the same thing. People go up and they're like, my name is Banana Hammer. And isn't that... It's so funny when people find out my name. And you're like, talk about something that fucking matters. I don't know. I think about... I frankly have never heard... I've never heard a joke that made me laugh out loud about being tall or somebody's bit about their name or like wordplay on names. That shit is just so superficial and inconsequential. Who gives a fuck? You know? Anyways, not to rip on Colin Jost. I just watched a video about it. Fuck. And then Google told me it was Youst. That's not even... Go fuck yourself. How to pronounce... See, it's times like these, I wish I had a rewind button that I could go back and... It's not Youst. Ugh. Jost. I'm gonna just... Okay, this is getting boring. I'm gonna just call him Jost. Whatever. It would help if I watched a single episode of SNL when the guy goes, "We're calling Jost." You know how he announces? That was actually not bad, come to think of it. Michael J. He's got such a classic him voice, you know? Only he sounds like him, whoever that guy is who does the announcing. Anyways, back to the original point. Facebook is suggesting I add Will Sasso and Colin Jost on Facebook, and it seems it's their personal accounts. And I have 7 mutuals with Will Sasso. I don't know how many I have with Colin, but yeah. Can you imagine if I use that as a brag? I'm gonna start using that when I brag to people. I'm gonna be like, they're gonna be like, "What are your credits?" I'm gonna tell next show that I get introduced on stage. I'm gonna be like, "Can you tell them that Facebook has suggested that I be Facebook friends with Will Sasso's personal account?" People, why? Any Canadian audience would for sure. You say that, and they'll be like, "Oh wow, it's a big deal." Anything associated with American celebrity is so like being a Canadian. There's no star system here. None of what we do fucking matters to anyone. Nobody cares, especially outside of Canada. Even within Canada, people are like, you see the cast of Kim's Convenience at the grocery store, and you're like, "Hey, can you move, please?" Nobody gives a shit. You're like, "Hey, she's squeezing a lot of those avocados a bit too firmly. Hey, can you stop touching all of the avocados?" You know? Canadians don't give a shit about celebrity. At least that's what it feels like. Coming from a non-celebrity like this, I was wondering, do I even land on any sort of list, alphabet list, you know? When they're like, "Oh, that's a D-list celebrity," you know? In Canada, would I exist? What letter would I be at this point? Which is so funny to think about. Because I've done a handful of TV tapings, stand-up. It's not like I get recognized from TV. I get recognized every once in a while from TikTok, which is like, I post a video a month at this point. So that's a shock to me. But, and yet I have 33,000 followers on TikTok. God knows, I got all that shit from like 3 or 4 banger videos, and I just stopped posting. I gotta get back. I gotta get over this. Oh, they took away my music on a video. I gotta get back to like this perfectionism and this self-criticism is really debilitating. Anyways, I was wondering what list I would land on, and I would have to say, as far as Canadian celebrity goes, I would land on the F list. I'm probably about an F. I'm a strong F, I think. Yeah. I'm no G. Fuck the G's. Pathetic losers. Fucking nobodies. Shine my shoes, you G-lister. I turn around and fucking hate on the one rung below me. I'm gonna peg myself at about an F. I'm an F-list celebrity. Is that even a thing? It's sort of an oxymoron. At that point, you're not a celebrity. I'm measuring based on, I don't know, recognition. On the street recognition, I guess. Anyways, so should I add Will Sasso? That's the thing. My friend Dan Gallia, who I commonly work with and perform with and write with, and we have a single called Malta Song, Malta PSA, on Spotify. Check it out. I play guitar. It's Interdimensional is the album it's from. I play guitar. Malta PSA. Check it out. It's a fucking swinging guitar ditty. But apparently Dan has hung out with Will Sasso, and Dan told me the story. Will came to see a show that Dan happened to be on, and Dan performed with his balls out of his pants the whole time. And or no, I think Dan did karaoke with his balls out of his pants. And Will thought it was the funniest thing he had ever seen in his entire life, and immediately just like attached himself to Dan, and apparently just adored him for however that weekend. I think Will was in town for a festival or something like that. But anyways, they became fast friends and then lost touch, as you do on Facebook, I suppose. But Dan apparently, don't come after Dan for that story about taking his balls out on stage. I think at that point I'm gonna plead to a oh, what's the term for it? What's the term? Statute of limitations. Right? When like a crime is it's been so long that it's no longer a crime. I don't know. Let him, his balls were out 12 years ago. You really gonna come after him for that? I said homo on stage about 17 years ago, and I faced the repercussions. I went through ally training, and I was banned from the improv troupe for half a year. But I did my penance, and I served my time, and I got back on the troupe from good behavior, and I learned a valuable lesson. And now, look at me, I'm a trans woman. So, if anybody has paid the price for their crimes, I have. And so, I don't know what my point is. I don't know what I'm comparing this to. But anyways, let's just take an opportunity, and I'm gonna sell out right here, right quick, and just shout out my sponsor, water. Haha, I sold out to water. Glug glug, bitch. Water has all the essential nutrients and minerals and vitamins for your ass. It's got a couple hydrogens and one good old oxygen there, and that's what you can count on for water. Simple ingredients, homegrown, good old water. You could drink it at your bedside. You could drink it in the office. You could drink it while you're driving. Sounds like you shouldn't, but you can. Don't worry. All it will do is hydrate your ass. It'll make your pee clear. Isn't that fun? That's like a magic trick. So try it. Drink a ton of water, but not too much, because it'll kill you. 4 to 5 medical experts agree. Drinking too much water will fucking kill you. But don't worry, you would have to drink a lot for that to happen. But anyways, good old-fashioned ingredients. 2 old hydrogens and 1 good old oxygen, just pulling them together like a little group hug. Like a photo with the oxygen in the middle, like going like, ah, my boys. Like a big old, like a mob boss with his 2 new recruits. Just, what, I fucking like you guys. I like the cut of your jib. And he's pulling them in by the neck like that. Good old H2O. Drink enough of it, and you'll die. Drink just less than that, and your pee will be clear. Isn't that something? So, check it out at your local store, or at a body of water. Hey, it's called body of water for a reason, because it does your body good. So, glug glug, bitch. That ad fucking crushed. May I just say, that was so inspired. Glug glug, bitch. That was really fun to do. Sometimes my friends will quote things that I said way back when we were an improv troupe. Of course, after I served my time for yelling, you're a homo at someone on stage. Dark times, indeed. I seriously thought that was the end of my comedy career. And it happened like in the 2nd month that I started doing it. I was doing stand-up and improv at the same time. I was with the University of Western Ontario Improv Troupe, and it was our first show. My God, I know I've told this story before, but I'll just go over it real quick. My first ever improv show was at a residence on UWO campus, and I was bombing a scene, and I just defaulted to a homophobic impulse from my white cis het upbringing, and my projected internalized homophobia, transphobia, and I called somebody a homo because I thought that it would get a cheap laugh. But it didn't. It drew the ire of the entire student body, and I got expelled from. I got banned from the improv troupe, but I was able to get back in 6 months later by showing contrition and serious remorse and improvement in my humanity and compassion. So, and then it made me gay. So, fate is a cruel mistress, and karma will get you. And now I tuck my penis and I push my balls away and up into my body, and I tuck my sack and I tuck my dick. And that's what happens to you when you're a homophobe. Eventually, you tuck your balls in your sack and you put on frilly dresses and you bounce around. And so don't be a homophobe, or this will happen to you. Anyways, where the fuck was I going with that? Oh, I did a commercial for water. But anyways, my friends will quote old moments or bits or things that I said in an improv scene, and it'll make me miss my youth very sorely. It'll miss performing with my friends, because that was always just such a treat. I loved performing with them. Oh, so fun. So many memories. It's interesting. You make... Okay, one thought at a time, Val. But shit is just occurring to me now. But, first of all, there's a little fear and insecurity in hearing back these classic Val moments in an improv scene that make me worried that I've lost that level of imagination and wit, you know? I worry. But then you go and do a water ad like that, and you're like, she still got it, you know? But they were mentioning, there was a scene, we did a long-form improv, and so many of the moments were just us practicing with each other. Like, we would practice, we would get together on usually a weekly basis, and we would go through some of the games we were planning for an upcoming show, or we would do some, like, improv exercises, or we would just do a long form, just for fun. And for those of you who don't know, long form, it would basically be, we would take a word from one of us. One of us would just blurt out a word, and then we'd create a long, 20-minute long, anywhere between 20 to half hour narrative with different characters and scenes, and you would go up and you would improvise a scene and then slide that off and introduce new characters, introduce conflict and a resolution at the end. And anyways, they were quoting, one time I played this character named Roy, who, from what I remember, the long arc of this long form was basically Obama's daughter was going to be kidnapped by the Illuminati or something like that. I remember she at the beginning, she like flashed her tits or something, and someone, I think she was being blackmailed or something for flashing her tits out of her window, and somebody snapped a photo. But anyways, I was part of like a subplot, a B plot of the whole thing. I played this character named Roy, who was a conspiracy nut and who wouldn't shut up about the Illuminati. And every time I mentioned the Illuminati, I would go, the Illuminati? And like, it was almost, it was just a bit of me, like, about to do a list of something, but then trailing off. And I don't know, it sounds, when delivered properly, it's hilarious. But listen, the best part was, I think when the climax was happening, I would like spout these conspiracies to my two other friends in this long form, and they wouldn't believe me, and I would talk about the Illuminati, and they're after us, and so paranoid. And then finally, at the conclusion, somewhere around the conflict, I dragged the lower half of my body. I dragged it on stage with my arms, and they were like, "Roy, what happened to you?" And I went, "You guys know how I like to hang out in the junkyard by myself?" And they're like, "What? Yeah." And I was like, "The Illuminati, they got me. They got me." They're like, "What do you mean?" I was like, "They pushed the fridge on my legs. The Illuminati pushed the fridge on my legs." And then, I vaguely remember, I think every time somebody pieced together a clue or a part of a puzzle that indicated that the Illuminati was behind this, it just ended up something shaped like a triangle. Somebody would see a triangle or rationalize some kind of triangular thing, and then you would make a triangle in front of your face, and you go, you know, like that was the revelation. Anyways, so every once in a while, my friends reminisce about the time that I was Roy, who said, "You guys know how I like to hang out in the junkyard by myself? Well, the Illuminati got me. They pushed a fridge on my legs." That's so funny. And there's a part of me, my point is, there's a part of me that worries that I've lost that spark of what I would only describe as a little bit of insanity. Because, like, how do you come up with that, you know? I kind of miss it. I hope I still have that spark. It may not be as wild and untamed. I think maybe that's the word for it. I think maybe as I've gotten older, it's been more tamed, or either tamed or perhaps even polished. Maybe it's polished, and I should be nicer to myself about it. But you know, I don't know. We did a long form where I played Ashton Kutcher, and I think my sister I kept hogging the bathroom because I was admiring myself in the mirror. I locked the door, and so the running gag was my sister would keep like banging on the door to be like, "When are you done in there? I want to use the bathroom." And I never came up with a name for her, so I would keep calling her Ashton Kutcher's sister. So I would be Ashton Kutcher in the bathroom, fawning over myself in the mirror and be like, "Shut up, Ashton Kutcher's sister. Ashton Kutcher needs a mirror," or something like that. Just expository writing on the spot, which is very funny. I remember that scene was about Svetiga. It was a long form about my friend Adrian wore this blue hoodie. It was the Swedish national team for something. I don't know, hockey. But it was a blue hoodie with, I think in Swedish, Sweden is Sveriga. Sveriga. Sverige. Yeah. It's called Sveriga. In Swedish. Oh, the Vasa Museum, I went there. And the Royal Palace, I went there. Look at Google showing me a little thing of Stockholm. A whole bunch of Stockholm images. Oh, that takes me back to my trip to Stockholm. It was so fun. Oh. Okay, distraction, guess. Anyways, and Svetiga was looking for love, but he had this, he played him like a hunchback with a three-pronged claw. Adrian kept referring to his three-pronged claw. Because that's why. Because on the hoodie, that was our prompt word. That was the suggestion. Because, like I said, somebody would just give a word, and we would just go, away we go. And you would start a scene, and then you would do a whole show just based on whatever inspired the first few people based on whatever inspired us from the word Svetiga. So, there was, I think, there's a symbol in Sweden, basically, of like a trident, I think. I could swear. A yellow trident. And so he used that as inspiration for his character with his three-pronged claw that he used to kill me, Ashton Kutcher, because I was too busy fawning over myself in the mirror, and I was singing that song, Day Bow Bow, Day Bow, and I was combing my hair. and he came up behind me, which you would think if Ashton Kutcher was looking. But that's also how narcissistic I was playing the character, that I was like, even if someone else is occupying the mirror, I don't see him. All I see is this. And then Sverga killed me with the 3-pronged claw, and then I think he went on my date to the prom. That also reminds me, our most quoted improv thing is, and that was the 3rd time I took Melissa Etheridge to the prom. And, without context, that doesn't make any sense. But it was a thing that I said a long time ago to wrap up a story that didn't happen. You know what I mean? Where you, like, cut back where somebody's just finishing a story and they say something as if they've just finished a story. And so those were the words that came out of my mouth. And that was the 3rd time I took Melissa Etheridge to the prom. Which is like, that spark. I just hope I've never lost it. I wonder where that inspiration comes from sometimes. I used to be such a silly goose back then. And maybe I feel that way because I haven't done improv in a very long time. And it's so easy and so fun to do improv with your friends. And especially when, I love that that's what bonded us. My best friends are still my best friends, and I met them at the improv troupe, and like by extension through the improv troupe, and they're just a bunch of silly gooses, and it's so interesting. This was the thought that stopped me, and then I said one thought at a time, but I'm back and I'm focused and I remembered it. Normally I would forget, but the thought occurred to me that the kind of memories that crystallize your friendship with people, the kind of experiences that really bond you with your best buds, I almost feel sorry for people who never bonded with their friends through the way that I did. I think it's really special that we bonded over playing silly games and being characters and doing Dorcas Malorcas things, improvising together and just creating together in the spirit of just making each other laugh. And that was the one true purpose, especially because we spent so many nights practicing. It was called improv practice. We would schedule it and get together once a week because we had shows to do and we all had a passion for this and we wanted to get better. And it was the blind leading the blind, to be honest. we didn't have a coach or anything. We just that's what comedy is. You practice it. It's hard to coach comedy. Anybody who don't pay for stand-up classes. To anyone listening, if you're thinking about doing stand-up, just fucking do it. Don't take classes. Don't waste your money. You learn by doing. Go and do it. Anyways, at least where comedy is concerned. You learn it by doing it. So go do it, you dummy. Anyways, I just think that's, whatever, look, let me roll it back a little bit and say, I don't think that the way that I've bonded with my besties is anything more special than anybody else. I'm sure there are a wide berth of bonding experiences. Of course, the things that bring us together. But I think there is something, at least that I can take a moment right now to appreciate about my best friends, becoming my best friends from all of us, just kind of goofing around, making each other laugh right from the start. And it's beautiful. What a beautiful thing. And they're all good people, and it's just, I'm lucky. I'm lucky. And all my greatest friends stuck around through all my changes, never missed a fucking step, never missed a step. Great human beings, great characters. This isn't me bragging about my friends, but it is. So, fuck you. I love my friends. I love my family. I'm lucky. I'm blessed. I'm grateful. I'm lucky. And I'm hydrated. Glug glug, bitch. Anyways, enough gloating about the power of friendship. We're coming up on an hour. And frankly, my voice is starting to feel a little tired. Because half of my mouth has been scraped to bits with a single-pronged claw. She also, not only am I paying a fucking fortune for these dentistry fees, but she also recommended like a different automatic toothbrush, and she recommended a water pick, and all this stuff that's like, it's just, the expenses are piling up, and I still owe the government a lot of money, and tax season is coming up. Oh, it's hard, you know. I don't think I even got to enjoy getting to the next financial level in my life. I've worked so long and so hard to finally become a professional stand-up comedian, self-sustaining through just my art, through stand-up, only to have life just dump this big fucking bucket of manure. It's nothing short of a stinky horse poo all over my body. This was me stepping out from the darkness of the cave that I existed in for so long, this oppressive financial cave. And then I stepped out and I went, oh, I'm so proud of myself. I've got out of the cave. And then apparently this cave was a place where where farmers would dump their manure, but they reuse their manure, don't they? Well, the dumbest farmer in the land. No, a farmer who quit. He was like, I'm done farming. Don't like it. If I see one more husk of corn, I'm going to lose my mind. And so he took his manure to the edge of the village where there were caves and shit, and stood above a cave. Didn't really pick a spot. He just wanted the catharsis of launching a bucket of horse feces off the edge of a cave. And so he just picked one at random, and I happened to be standing under it, and it just all came crashing down on top of me. And also someone stole my snowboard. So you know, I got out of the cave, and then someone went, I'll take that, and then took my goddamn snowboard, and then a guy threw a bunch of poo on top of me. So that's what I'm faced with right now. But you won't see this smile fade. You won't see this enthusiasm miss a single step. I mean, you might see it miss some steps. I'm only human. But I remain ever resilient. I remain ever enthusiastic. I'm just plucky. Plucky old me. That is a good word that I would use to describe yours truly. Al Val is nothing if not plucky. And that is that. I also, on top of this podcast, I literally am recording this hot off the back of recording Girl Dad Girls podcast with a whole bunch of bitches. No, just kidding. With three very fun, awesome ladies. That was a good time. Yeah. So that episode will come out. Here's an update on my special / album. I'm pushing for a release date from the production company because I send notes and I don't know what happens on their end. I have no idea what the timeline looks like and how long these things take. I don't know, and I try not to pressure them, but we are coming up on 6 months since I recorded, and I feel like with a little pressure, we can get this thing out sooner rather than later. I'll be honest, I am starting to get burnout from watching it over and over again and offer notes, and I think I've reached the point of diminishing returns in terms of editing and picking apart all the flaws. It's good, and I just have to trust that it's good, and I know it's good. I put fucking years, almost 2 decades worth of work into this fucking thing, and so I can stand proud on the quality of the material and the performance, and those things will shine through. So yeah, I don't want to make it official, but I am requesting an April release date. April Fools would be great. And no, this isn't a prank. This is more of just a fun little, haha. It's released on April Fools. I was never much of a prankster anyways. You know? Like, I'll release it on April 1st, even though, I will advertise that I'm gonna release it on April 1st, and everyone's gonna be like, yeah, no you're not. And then I'll do it, and then that's what I'll say. I'll say, I was never very good at pranks. And I'll be bashful like that. I'll say it like that. Hey, you released it on April Fool's? I thought you were pranking. No. I was never very good at pranks. You know? Who says she isn't an actress? I'm an actress. I can act my asshole off. Glug Glug, bitch. You know, a lot of the time I have to listen back to the PodGis right after I've recorded the episode, and I'll have to go back and look for what I think the title will be. But this one was pretty easy. It helps if I repeat the same fucking thing the whole time. That makes it so much easier on me. So I'm gonna start trying to do that a lot more. Sorry, I'm gonna be catchphrase machine. Catchphrase, guess. Catchphrase machine. Anyways, I think I'm gonna shut her down. I'm gonna shut her down, bot, because it takes forever to upload this stuff and to convert it and all that bullshit. God, her hair is so luxuriant and beautiful. Some women are just so beautiful. And then there's me. No. I'll be kind to myself, damn it. I'm a little cutie pie. Yep. Anyways, yeah. Oh, vote for me. Please continue to vote for me. If you don't already. Oh yeah, I didn't even. This happened this week. So why would I wait until the very end to tell you about this? Please, as you're listening, before you turn this shit off at the end, please go to Google and search up the keywords Edge 102.1. You can put that in. The Edge, funniest Canadian, $10,000 funniest Canadian. Did I already? No, it was a video I recorded. Okay, yeah. Look up funniest Canadian. I am a top 10 finalist for this competition to win $10,000, which the 10,000 part is decided by quote unquote judges. I don't know who these people are, and you know, it makes it easier for me to not believe that I'm gonna win the 10,000. I don't think I'm gonna win the 10,000. It's better that I don't believe that I'll win it, so I'm not disappointed when I don't. Because if it's in the hands of a group of anonymous judges, then it's easy for me to just let it go and be like, well, it's in God's hands. Almost literally. They are the gods in this situation, and they get to decree, so fuck it. But what is in my power is you can vote every single day until March 21st. You can vote. You can go to Edge. You can search in $10,000 funniest Canadian, and you can vote for yours truly, Alval, every day. So make sure you go every day and type in those keywords. I'm gonna be so fucking annoying on social media, asking people every single day to vote for me. I have to. I need your votes as often, as early, and often as possible. Please, if you're a fan of the podcast, as soon as you're done listening to this, give me a vote. Put it in your calendar. Vote for me every day. God knows I need it. The most votes gets 1,000. So everything that I just told you about the dentist appointment, you can trust that. Given that I've already burned $650 on X-rays and a first appointment, and half of a cleaning, that's $400 and $250 in the 2 appointments I've been to, and another $250 coming up, at least, and then whatever follow-up cleaning, and then more shit after that to assess my gum depth or whatever the fuck they said they needed to do, and then potentially Invisalign. Girl, this sucks, man. I wanted to start budgeting for things like electrolysis, and perhaps facial feminization surgery, and perhaps a breast augmentation. Gender-affirming things that I was saving up for, because transition is fucking expensive if you want to put money down for that stuff. I'm self-employed. I don't have insurance. I'm paying for everything in my life out of pocket. And do you have any idea how difficult that is? That's fucked. So help me just get this small fucking victory back. I'm buying back my goddamn snowboard. Help me win $1,000 is all I'm saying. I'm pleading to your sense of compassion. Vote every single day. The Edge, $10,000 funnies Canadian. Vote for Al, please, every single day. And help me win that $1,000 so I can. And until Big Water comes knocking on my door to advertise some water. Until then, vote, bitch. Click, click, bitch. That's the sound of you clicking on my name and voting for me. So, okay. Anyways, get your glug on. Glug it up tonight and always. Hydrate, my babies. And we'll see you next week. And maybe I'll put my snowboard right there so you can see it in the background. I'll celebrate this victory with you guys. Okay, anyways. Thanks for watching. Thanks for listening. I adore you. Thank you for being a fan. I was never much for pranking.